And we are back. And actually, to you guys, welcome back. I'm sure you guys may have noticed I have not been active for a while, but sorry, I'm trying to adjust this. As you guys noticed, the scenery is different. For once, I'm not in my room, and for this comeback that I'm gonna try to make off this little hiatus, you could say, I took, things are gonna be different. Things are different. I feel a lot wiser, but I missed talking to you guys. You know, I was posting a bunch of shorts and videos here and there, and mind you, all those videos they're not deleted, but they are on private just because I want to start anew a couple years from now once I'm more famous. I'm gonna repost them back on so that way people can see the change from here and now, from then and now. There you go. I'm sorry, but tonight it's gonna be a chill night. I got my black tea right here. I'm not gonna say the name, even though the logo is gonna be showing. I don't want to get copyrighted because I did see copyright on a lot of my videos from back then. So we're actually just gonna refrain from even saying the coffee. But the next time we do record, and as you guys can tell, you know, we actually are gonna start recording a bit more now that I have a microphone. I'm not sure if you guys can see it, so better audio. And not only that, we actually have a phone stand, finally a fucking phone stand with a ring light. So I'm not sure if you guys are able to tell, the lighting on my video is slightly better than most times, but I'm actually quite happy that I'm finally recording again after a month. And to those that have actually been keeping up to date with my videos, you guys know what was going on. So I'm actually gonna hop on that, but for right now, I actually want to start off this video with saying blessings to all of you. It's March right now, actually March 2nd. Right now it's about 8 p.m. I want to tell and say to you guys, for those that have been struggling mentally, it's like, congratulations for just making it here. It's honestly hard living a fucking day nowadays, at least for me, and for those that actually don't even have the motivation to get up their bed and actually do something with their lives. And I'm not saying that derogatively, because I've had those days myself, especially throughout the beginning of the year, and even now sometimes too, because, you know, that depression just sometimes kicks in. But even then, we all have our own mental health to take care of, and this is me taking care of mine, which is simply providing talk to those that actually don't even have an opportunity to talk to any other people. I simply just want to say, hang in there, because, you know, our time here is simply borrowed, you could say. It's borrowed, literally, tonight. And I'm not implying that it is, because honestly, I do want to make a lot more YouTube videos now that I have this new setup. And we're going to be making videos everywhere now, so don't worry about that. But, you know, this could be my last video, because that's just the world deems my time here to be. Especially since, you know, I drive around, I go out with people a lot. It could always be my last night. And I've just been waking up at least thankful. I've at least been saying thank you each time I wake up, for no reason, simply just for the fact that it's hard living another day, but even then, it's just another opportunity to see if we can even do something. And today I even had in mind to actually make this video, because lately it's been raining here in California. In fact, it actually hailed not too long ago, which is kind of crazy. So those of you that are struggling and to at least finding purpose in this year, 2023, hang in there, because eventually it'll get better. And I'm not telling you that, you know, by some miraculous chance it's going to get better. No, you have to get your ass up and actually do something, just for the simple fact that, you know, we are the own determiners or writers of our own destiny, our own fate. We sometimes have to decide what that incurs upon on our day-to-day lives. And the simple fact that some of us decide to do nothing, I don't blame you guys. It's hard to get up. You know, I even actually took time off just for that simple fact that I didn't want to do nothing. But, you know, I wasn't necessarily sad, I wasn't necessarily happy. Simply, I was at a state of peace. And to me, that's all right. And I actually have been quite thankful for that. But, you know, at this point in my life, and I'm only 20, I desire at least some type of excitement, something that enriches my life to continue on living and to see if that I can actually want to do something on a day-to-day basis. And throughout my time in which I wasn't on YouTube, I actually did pick up a few YouTubers that I found quite inspiring. His name is Heinz, or In Hindsight. He's an upcoming YouTuber, and I actually aspire to be exactly like this man. Back then it was like Markiplier. If anything, I gained my inspiration from Markiplier to actually start making videos, because I simply see that he just games and that's it. And he, he earns an influx of income to the point where he actually can just live off YouTube. I still want to actually live off YouTube, and I'm hoping, no, it's not that I'm hoping, I will. Sorry, we're going to get into the custom of actually saying I will instead of I hope. But I will eventually get famous off YouTube. If I actually do make it past my 30s, past my 40s, I have to at least strike on some type of popularity among YouTube. So it's only a matter of time and dedication that I can actually input into my YouTube making career. But it starts now. And it started off, granted, about a half year ago, off Markiplier, all the content that he made. Sorry, I heard something. And I'm not necessarily fond of the person he is now, just because I never saw him making an OnlyFans. In fact, the YouTube algorithm on my phone has actually not even been recommending his videos. And I still love him as a person. I love for the fact that he's donating to charity all the time. But I guess I outgrew his channel. I'm not necessarily interested in watching scary games or any other thing. And not to bash on Markiplier. He's a wonderful person. Again, I believe he's a Cancer. And for those of you that are into zodiacs, I'm a Scorpio, so I'm supposed to get along with him. I actually have been watching him for these past 6 years, even before this zodiac outburst into, oh, what sign are you? I'm not against it. I'm quite embarrassed for the fact that, sorry, I keep hearing noises, but I am actually quite embarrassed for the fact that I fit very well into my Scorpio personality, but I'm not saying that zodiacs designate how a person's going to be. I'm always open to actually seeing how a person's going to talk to me and be with me. So by the way, if you guys are still willing to actually hop on my YouTube channel and come talk to me in person, or at least through a Zoom call or whatever video cam app that people use nowadays, I'm actually all down for that. I actually would want to do live streams someday too, and actually start talking to you guys through there, because I do see that Heinz does that. So moving on to him actually. But yeah, kind of an establishment as to where I am with the zodiacs, how I am on inspiration on YouTube. I'm still all in for it. I still want to become successful off it. But throughout this time in which that was kind of hard for me, now things have subsided. Oh my god, I'm stuttering a lot. Things have subsided. I am in a place of calmness, rejuvenation, and simply I'm spiritually intact. I still have a lot more to go and to learn about myself, to control myself, but I feel as if I've done better in that. But listening to In Hindsight's podcast it sometimes does help me, for the simple fact that it's the chillest spot on YouTube. It really is. This guy's always just playing music, but also for the fact that I see this man's life. He's in his mid-20s, 30s, and I love the way he's living. He's gone through a phase of where he doesn't know what the hell he's doing with his life, but then he found himself. He completely changed for the better, and I love that. I want to do that for myself. In fact, the younger I can start, the better, so that way I can at least start being more positive on what I can do on a day-to-day basis, because I don't want to necessarily stick to the rat race. If you guys have seen that, I don't want to be stuck to a 9 to 5. I actually want to have the liberty to be like, what, today I'm going to be making a YouTube video. I'm going to inspire some people. And, he was talking about this too, and I'm actually quite skeptic of what I'm going to do with YouTube. He did mention to me that, he actually mentioned for this first, self-expression is the highest form of nutrition, and I firmly believe that, for the simple case in which I find solace in actually making these videos. I'm sure you guys have at least heard that from me. I do find an opportunity to actually talk and do whatever I want, to actually free my mind, be myself, and I have found that in these videos that I make. But I don't know if I want to monetize off that. There's a huge part of me, and I won't lie, 75% of me does want to monetize off it, so that way I don't have to stick to a job or anything else. But there is 25% of me that doesn't necessarily want to actually make videos because I have to. No, I want to make it because I want to. You know, I want to have that liberal option of actually being like, I want to actually make a video because I'm passionate about it. Right now I'm feeling quite passionate, even though the ambience right now is quite calm. I'm actually passionate right now just for the simple fact that I'm alone. I get to talk to you guys, and you know, there's no distractions. Granted, there is a bit of background noises, but you know, it's not that bad. But I can't deny it, like 10 years from now, I want to be doing this. I don't want to be stuck at some corporate job or doing something else that I don't like. I want to be doing this. I love it. I really do like talking to you guys. Granted, I do sound like a hypocrite just for the fact that I took a month off it, but that's simply for the fact that I was afraid. I was afraid that actually I wasn't making any success, but now that I've come to terms with perhaps I may not make any success right now, maybe in the future, that's fine. But I at least have to continue making these videos, and I'm actually going to try to make content videos because back then they were kind of shitty, not gonna lie. But now that I've tapped into my inner self a bit more, you know, I have gotten more into spirituality, and I have started reflecting upon myself, like, what do I want to do with my life? And this is it. I want to be actually making YouTube videos. I want to have a whole ass set that I can actually look forward to and making some videos and bring some peoples in. I'm sure you guys have heard this repetitively, but if I'm saying it now, as the person I am, as the person that has actually kind of grown since the last time I was on YouTube, instead of crying all the fucking time on the screen, I feel as if I've actually enriched my soul. I've meditated, I've took some time off. I don't even have Instagram no more, and it feels so nice, and it's rejuvenating for the fact that I still want to make these videos, and I have been feeling a bit of neglection from the universe to actually be like, no, you're not going to make these videos, because I kid you not, this is the 5th time that I've actually been here to want to make a video, and I didn't want to make it anywhere else but here first, because this is the first video that's going to at least step me off into what can potentially become my new reality. Sorry, there's a bunch of distractions, but thankfully there's no people around. But right now, this reality that I'm in, I'm creating these videos, is a reality that I love being in. Sometimes I'm already not knowing what I am in, but this reality that I'm in and making a video, I want to grow. I want to actually make it my life. I don't want any other life other than this one, for the simple fact that I get to be myself, touch people's hearts, their spirits, perhaps help them through whatever crisis they're going through. I want to do that. And this could be it. This will be it. I'm not sure how long it will take. I'm trying to find out ways in which I can actually make a living off YouTube, off social media in general, because I have seen that perhaps on TikTok I can actually try to get popular. I always haven't been a fan of TikTok, but if it can get me popular, I will. And if you guys go onto my YouTube, there's a link tree there. It has all my socials. TikTok's right there, and I do have a couple videos. In fact, I'm actually going to make a little clip off this video to actually post onto TikTok, just so that that way I can start getting more popularization, just because we need to make it big. I don't want any other life besides this one. And the beautiful part of this is that I took a month off. The fact that I still want to make this, it's just beautiful to me, because the beauty in humanity is that we can actually decide to change from whatever fuck ups that we did. We can still change and make our own new futures. It's simply a matter of actually wanting to actually do it. And I kid you not, there was also a reason in which I didn't make YouTube videos for at least a month, and that's for the simple reason that I didn't have a stand. I was actually kind of insecure for the fact that, you know, my stand was kind of shitty. Besides, the audio on my videos they were not that great. And not gonna lie, it was kind of annoying stacking books and then getting close enough to actually see how I can. Sorry, there's like some weird noises, but there's like that point in I had to like literally set up my stand for my phone, and now it's so fucking easy. And in fact, someday I'll actually show you guys my setup. It's actually a tripod too, or it is a tripod right now, but actually it could be used as actually, why not just show you guys? I'm gonna move it as a little phone thingy. I'm not sure what you guys call this, but pretty much Yeah, I can move it around. Besides, it's pretty around here, isn't it? I feel like an actual vlogger just doing this. But no, to be honest, I don't want to necessarily vlog. I actually do want to... Sorry. I want to actually stick to just sit down and talks, because I'm not that person. You could say I'm not that type of person. So, that being said, and if you guys notice, I will scramble off on my videos a lot just because I'm very disorganized. In fact, I think that's also something I need to do on my YouTube videos, is to actually start being organized on what I'm talking about. So I'm actually, for the next video, which hopefully, that will be tomorrow, I'm gonna manifest it. So long as my manifestations are pure, I do firmly believe that they will come true. But now that I have a stand, now that I finally broke the stigmatization in my head to not make a YouTube video, we're definitely gonna make YouTube videos now. I also, perhaps the next video will be an update on my life, on where it is at. But right now I simply just want to relax with you guys, vibe, chill, be zen. If you have tea, cheers. Heinz, I swear, I'm not wanting to copy you. That's just simply something I actually do. I got inspired to do that, but also for the fact that I do like black tea as well. You know, it makes your skin glow, it prevents cancer, so there's a bunch of benefits to black tea. And then, you know, I like cheering. You know, when I'm drinking or when I'm at a bar, I like just clink. So to those of you that watch my YouTube videos, start having some tea or something to drink with, because we're gonna start cheering. That's just a vibe. But I do want to just at least thank Heinz, because he's been inspirational to me. And that's the thing about YouTube, is that I keep finding inspiration off others to actually make my content. And I honestly find solace in it, just because I don't feel as if I'm alone or crazy in thinking that I actually want to be making YouTube videos and talking. Like, it's crazy to think that there's a reality out there that can actually allow me to live off that. And now that I'm aware, now that I'm inspired, now that I'm motivated, I am actually going to start striving for that, because if I'm alive up until this point, then that should mean it's because of that sole reason. It's because I want to serve people in which have no one to talk to. And I say that because I hate the fact that there's people out there wanting to talk that are so amazing, and yet they just don't have the opportunity because, one, they lack the will, or two, they don't have any resources to actually go out and try to talk to people. And I want to be that person for people, simply for the fact that I wish I had that opportunity and resources back then. And clearly, right now, I actually still don't have that. Believe it or not, I actually only have my special confidant, you could say, and a lesser confidant, in which is kind of all right. You know, I've been seeing these two people primarily just to actually ever hang out or talk to, but as for spiritually talking to people, believe it or not, I actually get along with random people to actually just talk to. I actually do enjoy talking to them. I enjoy hearing their stories, how they got there. If you're 30 or if you're 40, I'm gonna ask you, how the hell do you make it past your mid-20s? Because it's hard right now. You know, I have all this time in the world, a bit of money, and I'm trying to make the best of it by making these videos. And I want to see, how do people in my age, people who are at my age, make it to their 30s and 40s? What keeps them going? Because time is sometimes a curse for some people. You know, there's sometimes where a minute feels like 10 minutes, or a second feels like a minute. You know, it's crazy. And I'm sure for those of you that have anxiety, you can feel that. It's honestly, it's hard. But I want to get those type of people onto my podcast, my videos, and just talk. Simply just talk, because either if I'm not providing a service of talking to someone, then perhaps someone who is more wise than me can actually provide that service for me, because I'm not necessarily an enlightened soul yet. I'm actually still trying to figure out how I can dictate my soul, my personas inside me, to actually live a life in which they are confident and happy. As I said before too in my previous videos, basically the inner child and the adult in me that are always constantly clashing. And now I feel as if the two people inside me have found some type of agreement to actually living life, to the point where they can actually agree upon things they want to do because they love each other. And that in there itself is called self-love. So I'm very grateful for that. And I want to share that with people. I want to look upon their personas to actually see which of them needs help, which of them needs enlightenment, or at least which of them needs some type of self-love, so that way they can start getting along with each other. Because it took me a bunch of people to cut off, a bunch of people to argue, and a bunch of self-sabotaging to actually get to where I am now. And that's what I want to help people at least get through, is the fact that they don't need to go through that shitty road of finding themselves, when they simply just need to communicate with themselves. Hey, what do I like? Hey, what do I not like? What do I aspire to do in this life of mine? Or what can I do right now to actually do something with my life? And that itself, therein the question itself is hard already to answer. I get up every day and I'm like already stressing, what the hell can I do with my life? But at the same time, I'm just like, calm the hell down, take a step back, and first off, stay grateful, because I am the one of millions sperms that made it to the egg, and I should be just grateful for that. I have had my moments of happiness and sadness, and I truly believe that, and this is Heinz's words, sometimes we must be thankful to even be humans, because we're able to feel the spectrum of emotions, from happiness to sadness to other feelings in which we both don't know, me and you and me. Sometimes you have to be grateful. Literally just a couple hours ago, I was crying my heart out because of some incident. And in the midst of crying, I was actually starting to say thank you for the fact that I was crying, because sometimes it's actually better to feel something than nothing. It's actually better to feel shitty than nothing. Sometimes you just have to be grateful for that. And I've been learning that recently, and I've learned to at least value my life a bit more, instead of being some suicidal maniac that constantly thinks of death. Literally, it's the thought of death that gives me life. And I think that's a principle to how most things are. You know, that saying in which the heart grows fonder when in the absence of someone, or of someone. I'm not sure if I said that right, but what I'm trying to say is that sometimes perhaps you need to take space from someone to actually rejuvenate your relationship with them, or a friend. Or sometimes you need to stop doing something in order to start valuing, like, hey, I actually prefer to do this instead of living this contemporary life that I abstained myself from an activity that I liked doing before. And yes, I'm speaking from a personal standpoint, because I stopped making videos for a month. I was all right. I didn't necessarily need to make videos to continue my life. I was at peace without having excitement or any detrimental effects onto my life. But now that I'm in a standpoint of peace, I actually would prefer to have some excitement with peace. Granted, I know there's always that unexpected event that will happen that is just filled with negativity. And the beauty of that is that when you're in peace, or where you're in a cycle of sun, and yes, I am about to get into a spirituality a bit. When you're in a cycle of sun, you have to remember that there's always going to be a cycle in which you're going to be at the moon phase. This is also from Heinz, but also I think from Leonore Alexandra. I'm still watching her videos just a bit, but what I did notice, holy shit, I just noticed this right now. That's why I love talking to you guys. I notice things about myself and just about reality in general. When you're having a good time, expect to have a bad time soon. And when you're having a bad time, you must expect to have a good time too. That's just the principality of how the universe works, how our lives work. So I'm not going to manifest that I have a bad time after this, because I am having a good time. But I am at least grateful for the fact that I am in the collective conscious of having good and bad times when someone else is having a bad time. I am thankful for that, just because sometimes people are stuck in only being in a negative cycle, or at least sometimes people are stuck in it but eventually have a better life, or at least they're at a cycle of sun, at a cycle of enlightenment, nourishment, positivity. Right now, I'm right here. Like holistically with my life, I'm like right here. I'm at the middle. I'm trying to go up, not down, because I've had enough time going down. And in fact, I guess you could say I did find a bit of sadness in not making videos, but I wasn't necessarily too down into the cycle to the point where I was actually fully negative. Like, no, I'm actually quite at peace with where I'm at, but I am going to strive to at least have a bit of excitement. And again, that's just the beauty of humans, is that we can literally be at one end of the spectrum or cycle and still attempt to actually get to a better phase or a better heart posture as to where we can be happy. That's the beauty of humanity. And I at least want to bring more awareness to that, because whether you're religious, whether you're actually intact with your spiritual side, what really matters is that you at least try to become someone better instead of a shitty version of yourselves in which you don't like. And granted, that shitty part of you is what makes the better part of you, but it's not just always good to stay in that part of you. That's what I've been learning these past couple of months, weeks, you could say, is that you simply just need to be grateful, so that way you can start having a new perspective, a new reality in life. That's the general concept of how to live in this world in which we live in nowadays. Cheers to that, by the way. Oh my gosh, that's good. All right, well, to be honest, I do want to say a lot more. I think I'm running out of things to say, although I do have a lot to say about my personal life. I actually do want to save that for tomorrow's video, in which I will make. It's going to be in my room, and we're actually going to have a bit of a different setup. We do have a couple things that helped us on our spiritual journey while we were going through hell. It's quite nice, actually. We have our incense, we have candles, we have our teapot. Excuse me. I hope you guys couldn't hear that. Oh, you guys probably did hear that. Sorry. But it's going to be great. And I do heavily implore you guys to at least tune in for tomorrow's video, or perhaps live. Yeah, I think I'm going to start making lives. Tune in for that, just because it's going to be a more relaxing ambient. It's not going to look as aesthetic. Let me actually show you guys just one more time. It's not going to be as aesthetic as all of this right now, but I'll tell you what, my setup has got a lot better, and I'm just kind of proud of that. Doesn't that part look really pretty, by the way? Really pretty. Yeah, see, I told myself I was not going to make my video anywhere else if it was not here, just because this is the start of a new chapter for me, and there's honestly a lot more chapters that I have to go through in my life, but I'm grateful for the fact that I'm at least making videos again, because this is fun, this is enlightening, this is nourishing to my soul. Shout out to Heinz just for saying that, because he's inspired me so much. Let me touch on a little bit. I know I was going to actually say the video is gone, or it was going to end, but let me at least touch a bit on his videos, or at least his personal life, in which he has explained himself. He has a daughter. He has a beautiful woman in his life. I hope they get married, because they're such a nice couple. I've listened to their 3-hour streams, midnight streams. They're so nice. Eventually, I want to do that with my soulmate, in which I'm still looking for. That's so nice. I want to do that, and I see that they perhaps live in a little tiny apartment, but it looks aesthetic, it looks nice. It's a sanctuary, and looks he wants to be in, he wants to nourish himself in, and I want to do that. Right now I'm still at my parents' house because I'm 20, still trying to look for a job, but I'm just grateful for the sense in which I am here making a YouTube video. I have the liberty, I have the resources to come out and actually do this. I'm happy about that. I really am, because sometimes you just have to be grateful for any little moments in time in which you can get. He was telling, the viewers that he was in his apartment, low cash, not knowing what to do with his life, feeling uninspired, and yet I look at him now and he has a good amount of subscribers, and I'm like, wow, this dude literally started from the bottom to the top, and I admire that. And this guy has a lot more to go through. I'm actually going to support him as much as I can, just because he's such a chill guy. #1 chill spot on YouTube. I love it. Blessings to him, and hopefully his family that he could have with his beautiful woman, because I'm sure he would make a wonderful dad. I'm sure he would make a wonderful addition to... Sorry, I'm not trying to pick up the noise. But he would make a beautiful addition to this world. His mission statement, his mission goal is to actually just start talking to people about their own soul nourishment. And I love that for him, just because people need that nowadays, to actually just sit down, unwind, relax. People really need that, instead of trying to distract themselves from the shitty reality that they are in. I'm trying to advocate that for myself and for other people as well. Obviously, I'm going through it in a different manner, in which I'm not as relaxing as him. I actually love fucking talking, but I do aspire to be like this guy sometimes, just because he's just simply gorgeous. I love him already. You know, I've only watched him for a month or two, but you know, he did say for the start of the year he's gonna try to make it on a YouTube. He's gonna try to get his YouTube channel on one of those boards in New York City, and I'm like, hell yeah, dude, make that manifestation, because we love that. Like, I'm sure everyone else that is subscribed to him would love that. So blessings to you. I will manifest for you to actually go there to that point. And I know my manifestation will assist you, because it's coming from a pure-hearted intention. And you know, most people nowadays misconcept what manifestation is. They simply do it for the wrong reasonings. But throughout my journey of meditation, and to actually try to spiritually heal myself, I've learned that manifestations have to be pure. And I actually do want to talk about this just for a bit too. If you're manifesting for something, make sure that it's pure. Do not let it be for some type of other inconvenience that you may be having in your life. Like, no, go through that shit, try to grind through it, see what you can do about it. But say, for example, if someone needs you and you like that person, or if you want to be with that person, and if it's for the better of both of you, not just you, and if you're not being selfish, so long as you're pure-hearted, make that manifestation. Or if you know that there's a personal goal that you want to actually achieve, make the manifestation, but make sure that you're not stepping on people's toes, or that you're not sending any negativity, because consequences will come to you. I'm not actually saying this to you guys to actually scare you guys. It's actually because you guys could be the very consequence to your own manifestations. So me personally, I feel as if I manifest for Heinz to actually make it on a billboard on New York thingy, the little billboards, the electric billboards, I feel as if that will help him. And in turn, I can actually try to see if I can gain some knowledge off him too, so I can be just like him in my own way, which sounds weird, I know, but like, you know, my settings will always be different from his. My messages will always be different, but I simply am inspired by this man, in which has made it so far in life, I can see, and still has a lot more to go through. I'm actually quite happy for the fact that I found him. I really am. I really thought it was crazy to want to have to live a life of making YouTube videos, producing, making creative things. I thought that was crazy. But now that I'm doing it myself, now that I actually continue getting inspired from Heinz, I feel as if I am going to make it far in life off what I love doing. And I'll explain as to why it already seems so hard for me to do even just that in the next video for tomorrow. But I at least want to set my intentions for tonight, because I'm feeling inspired, I'm feeling creative, and most of all, I'm feeling grateful. So cheers to you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace.